The countdown has begun on our clock. Let's have a big round of applause for us for showing up. I've noticed very little applause at this conference. Backstage, they're saying tight-ass crowd. But I don't think that's true. Let's have a big round of applause for us. There we go. We did not have to come here. We get paid to go places.
Oh my God, they're standing up in the balcony.
Oh,
and
yeah.
what are these people doing?
You're walking out already?
We did not even sell out the balcony.
That's the joke, Mike.
Well,
I'm not the comedian.
ladies and gentlemen, I guess we're supposed to talk about comedy, but I don't think any of you want to get into comedy because you're making more money than us doing what you do, right? Or do you want to cut and pay and go to comedy clubs? This is the tight-ass thing I was talking about before. You can relax. I've been with you. I drank with some of you last night. It was fascinating being around billionaires who can't get laid. It's fascinating.
Versus us comedians who are just swimming in it.
I tried to have sex with a lot of you billionaires. It didn't work out. Tweet me.
So we're just up here hoping someone will fly us home private.
Brad Gray, I'm talking to you.
So we just thought we would talk about you guys as opposed to us, because there's been a lot of softball questions here, and we just thought we would kind of get into talking about tech, right? Kamal, you're on Silicon Valley. You know about these things.
Yep, I pretend to.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How's your phone working? What phone do you use?
Okay, is Samsung here tonight? Is Samsung in the house? I have a big question. So I have an S4.
Yeah.
Would I be able to upgrade to an S5? Where's Samsung?
Just snuck out the back door.
Samsung? Hello?
Oh shit, we got the S5 question. I'm getting out of here.
So I guess they've left.
Because I got the iPhone.
Yeah? What do you think of it?
I don't think it's large enough. It's hard to be indiscreet.
Did you get the big one or the small one?
I went for the big one because my thumbs are big and it's hard to type.
Yeah.
I like it, but it's very, very large.
Has it been like bending to the shape of your butt that people were complaining about?
My butt is flat, so it's not an issue.
Great. I have a very ample booty.
Yeah.
So I can't have that phone.
Yeah. Pornography's very vivid on this.
At least it's large enough to take pictures of your penis now.
It is. It is large enough, but, you know, a
That's
picture of
not
your
the
penis
angle,
always
Judd.
looks good because the phone is so close.
Is the Snapchat guy here? Can you help us how to take a good dick pic? Can anyone? I've yet to see a good one. And I'd like to make it less than 3 seconds. Who wants to look at a dick for more than 3 seconds? No one.
Can he consult on how to write a good college email?
Oh, shit. Oh, can we swear?
Yeah.
You can swear.
Okay.
We can swear.
No one has been. No one has sweared so far. But let's start it.
I got the iPhone 6 and I got that extra. I paid extra so that the screen would crack within a week of having it. And I was really psyched I invested in that because it worked out great. Because I just want to get little pieces of fiberglass in my thumb. Yeah.
Scott, what kind of phone do you use?
I have a super old iPhone. I'm willing to take some bids on what my upgrade might be. So
I think we should get some free shit. I don't understand. We're here, and you guys sell things. I got 1 million Twitter followers. How are you doing? Yeah.
I've got about 300,000.
What's Funny or Die have?
We're up to about 9.
Okay, so
me personally, I'm closing on 4,000.
Oh,
Nice, Mike.
you just said 9?
for you, that is great.
Yeah.
So shouldn't you guys all be giving us crap for free?
So that we can tweet about your crap.
Hey, if Nextel's out there, I want to get back in the chirping game. I'm also down for a StarTAC if anyone wants to rock out a flip phone. Got a couple holsters that I'm looking to get back in biz.
Does anyone here make pagers?
Yeah.
Just curious. feel like we should bring that back. There's a lot of drug addicts out there who don't really know what to do with all these
I
new
feel like I don't
technology.
see many of you taking notes right now, and I don't know why.
So valuable.
Yeah, no,
We've gotten a couple LOLs. There's been about 3 LOLs in the front row.
One big issue for me as a parent that, because I want you guys to learn something and help people, is I have kids and I'm always concerned about what they could watch on the internet because I feel like there really aren't any parental controls. We kind of pretend they're parental controls, but my kid just sneaks in her room and watches whatever, 2 Girls, 1 Cup, whatever she's into at that time. And you just can't stop it at a friend's house. They're going to see anything that they want to see. And so I said to my daughter the other day, what have you seen when you were way too young, when you were searching, that you never told me about? And she said, once, Dad, by accident, I saw a giant penis go into Santa. And I was like, what are you searching for? But I think that's a scary thing, don't you? Just it's all out there. Yeah.
Everything except my nude photos, which have not leaked, and I'm a little insulted about it. Is there anyone here who can help me?
If you do, though, I just think that the nude selfie stuff, like, I posted all my nude selfies on MySpace, and nobody seemed to bother me about it. Just kind of hiding in plain sight there.
In the deep web.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they're mostly on meganslaw.com if you want to see them.
Yeah.
Oh, too soon?
Yeah.
Uptight crowd, I like it. The Tinder guy appreciated that.
I'm only on the dark web. That's all I'm on.
What is the dark web? Explain to me. I just heard about this last week, and my kids were showing it to me. And now, what is the dark web?
I don't even know. It's like
Deep
some,
web?
the deep dark web. It's like some sort of web. How do you access it? That's
It's
what
the
I wonder.
Bitcoins.
Oh, Bitcoins.
The Bitcoins.
Yeah, you guys are such nerds. You don't know what the dark web is?
Explain it.
Well, it's like, Bitcoin, and you can go and buy, like, illegal stuff, right, guys? Who's with me?
This is like watching if a tech panel was up here talking about improv. Like, it's like... let's see.
I don't know. I think you just make shit up.
Yeah. Well, your daughter was showing you the dark web because she's one of the biggest heroin dealers in Southern California.
She's an arms dealer,
She's
actually.
doing great.
Because there's Funny or Die. It was very successful. My friend's Funny or Die.
Very successful.
And but maybe we need a dark web version of Funny or Die.
Yes, we could probably raise money for that. I am just learning about the dark web now, but that's probably actually a better valuation than Funny or Die. It's probably a better business. You actually can make a better business out of the internet making things that are kind of crappy.
Yeah.
And things that, go to lowest common denominator.
And we're all a testament to that.
I was going to say, that bought my house. Be nice.
Well, I'm also scared about the amount of information that people have about me. I know that people use that information. It is sold. It's used to figure out how to reach people. But, that when they track every single thing you've done, it makes me feel uncomfortable when they know every search I've ever done and what it says about me.
Well, for me, it's horrible when Emily, my wife, is with me, and she's like, let's go to this website, and I have to hit www. And then whatever letter I hit, it's going to autocomplete to something horrifying.
Just don't search for anything with a P that starts with a P.
No, it's all of them. P, any letter. I have to really, I have to just type really, really fast.
But
They should disable that, shouldn't they? They
You
should
gotta clean
disable
out your
that function.
What?
cookies. Clean out your cookies,
Yeah,
right,
but
guys? Are you with me?
I've been looking at
That's
cookie
not a thing
porn.
anymore?
I've been looking at a lot of cookie porn.
Raw batter.
Yeah, it's just a dude going to
raw
town.
batter.
It's just a dude going to town on some oatmeal cookie batter. It's pretty sexy
It's in the dark
stuff.
web.
Yeah, it all bothers me. Like like at Amazon, I have products on Amazon, and they will. If you look at my product, it will recommend other products, and it like says what they think about you.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like, if you like Knocked Up, you might like Ernest Sucks His Own Dick. What does that say about my quality work?
I think Ernest sucks his own dick is one of the most overrated
Yeah.
of the
Of all
Ernest
of the
oof.
Ernest.
Well, that was late era Ernest.
Yeah.
But they're like lately they're trying to force me to buy the Andy Cohen autobiography at Amazon. No matter what I look at, they're like, "Do you want the Andy Cohen autobiography?" Just because I bought 3 Kathy Griffin records once. And now everything Andy
On
Cohen on vinyl.
Or like the pop-up ads you get, or the
Yes.
banner ads that you get, is pretty much based on your behavior, right?
And what they know about me.
Yeah, mine are never good things. It's always like, do you want your credit score? It's always things like that. It's like banner ads just judge you and just make you feel bad about yourself.
I'm
based on
literally on Facebook. All I get is the pop-up ad for "Do you want to buy a superhero costume?" I don't know what I'm searching for.
Mine is like Christian Mingle, JDate, and freecreditreport.com.
Do you ever date from the internet?
Okay, so
Stand up,
that's
do
why
your
I'm
chunk.
at this conference, you guys. I can't do this anymore. Who wants to marry me? Who? Did Elon Musk left? That was a bust. George Lucas, I'll go Mormon on you. No, I kind of, like, I feel like everything, all dating is kind of online now, even if it's not, you know? And I did get on Tinder, like, as a joke. Now it's real. And it's kind of amazing because it's like, it's actually just, everyone's like, oh, it's progress. I think it's kind of just like regress almost, because that's the most primal way to date, just going yes, no. It's basically what it is, you know, swipe left, swipe right. So it kind of is like just the real world on your phone, but it's slightly sociopathic.
Have you met anybody from Tinder? Because everyone I talk to is like, I do Tinder, but I have never met anyone.
That's a lie. Your friends are liars. You know, yeah, it's tricky though, because seeing a guy taking his own selfie, it's just not.
It's not sexy.
It's not sexy. There's guys with tigers. Every photo is a guy with a tiger. An
You mean like
animal.
tiger shoes? What are you talking about?
A literal tiger, because every guy gets their like greatest hit photo from when they were in Thailand or something. And there's half of them are guys with seatbelts in their cars taking a seatbelt selfie, you know, which to me all that says is that your wife is in the house and this is the only time you have to take your photo.
It's also like taking a seatbelt selfie is like it's a negative sum because you're driving while you're taking it.
Yeah,
It's
what
like
are
it
you
cancels
doing?
the seatbelt out.
Did you make it? Like, are you still alive? And then guys at the gym, a lot of gym selfies, guys taking photos at the gym in the mirror. Which
Well, how are you going to let girls know that you're secretly gay?
I know, I'm like, I think I just saw you on Grindr also.
Is it terrifying, though, as a woman to date online? Because I feel like all of the, you know, whenever you meet one of these people from online, you may as well just be going to pleasemurderme.com.
Well, no, it's tricky because it's always like they are going to Google you. And before you even meet someone, they get to see a highlight reel of all your mistakes.
Well, I
And
feel
so
like
I just spend most of the time apologizing. Like, oh, did you see that thing? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm sorry.
it feels like first dates are pointless in the age of Google. Like a first date, all you're doing is showing how well you can pretend to not know everything about the
About
person
someone
you're going
else.
on a date with.
So where are you from again? And
Yeah.
then it slips in. You're like, oh, when you were at Harvard. I mean,
Yeah.
were you at Harvard? Like, you...
And you have a contentious relationship with your brother who lives in Seattle? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
good. No, I know.
And then
I
it
saw
just
the
comes
post.
out. So, like, and who was that bitch you were at the wedding with?
They have that site at networth.com.
CelebrityNetworth.com.
Yes.
I
That's
love
not
that.
real,
I've
is
actually
it?
looked you up.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
daughter's like, is this real?
How
Do I get this?
how accurate is it? I mean, whoever owns CelebrityNetworth.com, mine
it's
is
not.
wildly inaccurate. I have
They
to say.
don't know
You're
my
on it?
spending.
I was wondering what the threshold was to actually get
Are
on
you?
it.
Or what are you? Just surprised I'm a
I've been implying
celebrity?
That you
You're a
shouldn't be on
celebrity?
Celebrity Net Worth, yes.
Point the mic at your mouth,
Oh.
Mike. Your name is
Yeah.
Mike. You don't know how to use your namesake.
You've seen other people do it.
It's a few times, yes.
Yeah, before you meet someone, you can figure out how much money they have in a ballpark, what they look like, all their ex-boyfriends, all their bad angles, their fat day, it's not ideal. I like to be able to pretend for the first at least year of a relationship. You can't lie anymore. It's a nightmare.
But you're on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter, yes.
How are you enjoying the Twitter
Congratulations.
experience?
I've muted everyone, so I
Yeah.
love it.
That's a new technology.
If you
the
guys
mutes.
don't know about muting, you need to. Fuck you. I love Twitter. I love Twitter. I never got like Twitter and Instagram are my main. Twitter, Instagram, and FarmersOnly.com are my main ones. But yeah, Twitter to me, I get all my news. I don't even go to websites anymore.
Do you find that posting something on Twitter though makes a difference?
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Ticket sales right away. Yeah. 100%. Yes. Yeah. And if I want to make my ex-boyfriends jealous, instant gratification on that front.
I mainly am on Craigslist, and I should, full disclosure, should mention that I'm sponsored by Craigslist, so I'm legally obligated to say the following
message. Is Craig
message.
here?
Are you looking to sell your couch or for someone to come on your food?
Could be the same guy.
Yeah, slither on over to Craigslist.net.
Wait, but aren't you sponsored by Sun Chips as well?
Yeah, yeah, Sun Chips as well. Do you want MSG? I can't remember what it was. What was it?
Do you want your breath to smell worse than if you've been eating Doritos?
Is Craig here, by the way? I met Craig once.
Was it a casual encounter?
No. I met him after a Silicon Valley event, and he was like, "Hey, I'm Craig."
From
Last
the
name
list. I don't know if you've heard of my list.
By the way, so I was at the Elon Musk thing yesterday, and he was saying he doesn't like Silicon Valley. He was like, Elon Musk was like, nah. He's like, they just didn't quite get it right.
You didn't talk to Elon Musk.
I know, but I watched Walter Isaacson talk to him, and so it was like I talked to him, and I was like, you know what? Hey, Elon, I got a lot of friends in Silicon Valley. Your rockets aren't so fucking sweet either.
Yeah, your Tesla sucks. I'm sorry. It's great. It's a revolution.
But I also he had to leave, but I wanted to promote his fragrance, Elon Musk's Musk. Do you want to smell like you can go to space?
You have a whole Elon Musk chunk.
Oh, I got a chunk. I got a chunk on Musk that I've been waiting to drop.
You came so prepared in Musk
Oh,
jokes.
yeah.
He did say after the first, he was like, he didn't like the show, he said, because he says the parties he goes to are way better than the parties our characters go to. We're like, yeah, we know, you're a billionaire. You're going to great parties.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah, go to your chunk. Elon chunk.
Yeah.
Elon, I have nothing bad to say about you. Big fan. Love you. And when you're single, hit me up.
He actually has a new something he's announcing today, like a
car
or a jetpack or something's coming out at 7 tonight.
And it's
I'm
not
on the waiting
it's
list.
not
I
a
don't even
Mars
know what
clone.
it is. I'm on the waiting list. What about what products do you guys wish existed that don't exist that these people can make for you? Like, I feel like there should be an app that I get money from, an Apatow, but I can't figure out what it is.
Like an app called
An
the
Apatow. Apatow.
My whole life is built towards
What if
doing
it was?
that.
What if it was an Apatow, and anytime you were getting out of the shower, and you could hit the app and
You'd wipe off
Apatow.
your
It's
musk.
get like a high thread count towel right in your shower.
I think there should be an app where if someone cuts you off in traffic, you enter their license plate number, and you get a Google alert when they die in an accident. You would just be like, I thought so.
Yeah. Oh, later today. That's great.
That is a fantastic idea. You're going to get wealthy tonight, Scott.
Hey, hit me up.
But you still wouldn't put like the push notification up for it.
No.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I think there should be on Tinder. I have a pitch for Tinder, because when you get rejected on Tinder, it says there was not a match, and it's just you're constantly being swiped. People are constantly saying no. I think every time someone says no to you, your phone should make a fart noise. you just hear like, oh no, someone swiped right.
There's a great app out there called Christian Mingle that I just quickly have to also give a quick shout out to. Are you Christian in an almost gay way?
So Christian that you're gay?
Yeah. Go to christianmingle.com. Check out the app. Yeah, I don't know. I would love an app where I could just search put a word in and search and find cool things about it.
About Christian Mingle?
No, it's Google. Basically, I'm just trying to start a new Google.
Are you guys worried about like the NSA looking at all of your stuff on your computer or privacy issues?
Yeah, I'm horrified. My parents won't type out the word Allah in a text message. That's true. They call it the A word.
Because it keeps auto-correcting to
Will they
basketball?
Yeah. Will they even type out pi a la mode?
No, they're staying away.
Really?
Well, they hate ice cream, so that's okay.
My family's Jewish, and they're afraid to type out challah. They think they're going to get tracked. They
Well,
spell
so
it
they
wrong.
call it the A word?
Yeah. They're like, well, if the A word wants it to happen, it'll happen. I'm like, if the asshole wants it to happen? They're horrified of technology, as they should be. We should all be way more horrified than we are. Yeah. Well, for me, like you guys were talking about, for me, is Google here?
Google
Yeah?
is everywhere.
When I'm on Gmail, like, okay, if I'm going to Amazon and it's making me recommendations, I get that. But when I'm on Gmail, I'll just be at home and it'll just be like, hey, you have a meeting, you should go right now. I'm like, how the fuck did you know about the meeting? It knows about all my flights. I didn't tell it about any of these things. It just like shows up.
You're not talking to your computer?
I mean, it's horrifying.
Mike, what were you going to say?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm surprised that people are still so concerned about privacy. Like, to me, it's like, who hasn't done those things? If you do it, you should expect that something could happen, but like, why even care at this point? I mean, everything's so accessible, you just have to kind of adapt. I like when I talk, everyone gets really quiet. I am not
they're
the
all
funny
agreeing
person.
with you.
I'm trying to add some valuable insight. It's
But
not
mainly
working.
it's like fear of your wife is the main privacy issue, isn't it? Like once we were on like a direct TV and I clicked a button and we were trying to buy like Officer and a Gentleman or something like that. A Richard Gere film
this
of some
30 years
sort.
ago?
Yeah. And we hit a button and out of the blue, DirecTV listed every movie we ever bought. And there were 3 adult films on there, which is not bad for a 19-year marriage. But I
Wait,
didn't know
why are
that
you
screen
watching-
existed.
Who watches porn on a television
On a television. You know what?
Are you in your
king
80s?
is sitting
I
on
mean,
a couch.
Well, I have the
it's a more
3D
comfortable
screen.
environment on a couch, I would
No,
imagine.
you
don't
jerk off in the basement to your iTouch like a man. Do it in my living room? What's wrong with you?
What about the fact that they can see through the camera and see you, like without you knowing it, the government can look,
Guys,
guys,
I know now when they jerk off, cover up the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Just
I have an Xbox One, and I have a.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm doing okay.
and a wife.
And I have a brown couch, and I swear to you, it didn't see me for the first couple days. I'm not joking. It was like, where are you? I'm like, I'm the one that looks like a person.
I actually support this. I think you should all be recorded doing that, and then you should have to look at the video to see how horrifying it looks for you guys to do that.
I do love how everyone talks about the government. I love all my friends I've gone to work with in the government, but government is like the most inefficient thing in the world. We're concerned about it, but I don't think they kind of have the skill set to be able to do all the things that we're blaming them for.
Well, according to Rand Paul, what we got to do, we got to create a market and a profit motive to solve these problems. That's what I'm saying. Take Ebola. Take Ebola. There's a market. There's a market for coffins, right? So the price of coffins goes down. But don't we want to cure the disease? No, don't worry about that part. The coffin is where the money is.
1 computer for every 7 billion students. Are you in?
This has nothing to do with technology, but my parents are in town right now, and this is a conversation I had with my mom, I swear. I was like, hey, Mom, that guy with the Ebola died. And she asked me, how? I was like, I don't know. I think the answer is in the statement.
Just hit by a bus.
Yeah, he was hit by a bus. Luckily, there's an app that told Scott because he had cut him off earlier.
I think we're going to take a couple of questions to provide further insight on our points.
I have a question.
What do we need to solve?
What are we doing here?
Hi.
We said all of this in front of Katie? Oh, my God.
Can you please state your
I'm
name?
about to ask you
I'm
real
a
question.
sophomore at Stanford. And Judd, I was hoping you'd come to my class later. No, I wanted to know how you all were able to convince President Obama to do Between Two Ferns, because I was very jealous.
Katie, I'll take this one. Let me just say, as the person who wrote all of your dialogue in Shark Tale, it is an honor to finally meet you. No, Mike actually was the brains behind getting Obama to do it. I just kind of directed it, but...
Yeah, I think it was just a good example of not overthinking something. Like, Between Two Ferns works really well. It doesn't take long to shoot. It's really funny. I think it plays to the president's just comedic strengths. And then we just harassed them until they said yes. And they had a few things that went our way, like the website didn't work. That was positive. Like, they were having a tough time getting people to enroll. And also Bradley Cooper gave a very nice Hollywood nudge. We were kind of going through the outline with them at the exact same time that Bradley Cooper said this would be a great idea. And it was, I think, slightly more impactful hearing it from Bradley than it was for me. And
Bradley
and
Cooper can do anything, people.
It's true.
So Bradley Cooper is so hot, he can get the president to do things.
Well, how does Bradley Cooper hangs out with the president?
He was at some state dinner.
Oh.
And it was right when all of this was coming together, so the timing worked out. And
Did you say state dinner or steak dinner? Because the latter sounds delicious.
Steak dinner.
It could have been both. I'm not sure.
Were they going to Sizzler together?
And how funny and how in on the joke was the president?
He was, I'll tell you how in on it he was. He walked into the room, he threw up his hands, and he said, 2 ferns. And we all said, this guy gets it. And then he told us later that he thought that was the title. He had never heard of it before. And someone told him, I think this is called 2 ferns or something. So
it's also funny because we found out he didn't even know what Between Two Ferns was until pretty much after he shot it. His daughters were really impressed by it. And this whole time I think I told you guys, oh yeah, he loves Between Two Ferns. He can't wait to do it. And it was clear that he had kind of no idea what he signed up for.
Can you tell Bradley Cooper to tell Obama to stop sending me fucking emails? How many times do I have to unsubscribe?
It was a weird I unfollowed him on Twitter. It was a weird moment.
And he was like, hey, Whit.
You could just mute him. You don't have to unfollow him.
But it worked, though. It actually got people to sign up for healthcare.
Yeah, it did. It definitely helped with sign up, and I think it just kind of helped change the narrative of what was going on. It kind of gave the media something to latch onto and people to just kind of like peg, then maybe this will work. The timing was great, and people kind of got into it. And I don't think it was going as poorly as people thought at that time, but there was really nothing to kind of grab onto, and that video kind of presented that.
I see we have no more questions.
Any other major media personalities want to come up and ask us a question from the audience, like a regular person?
Brokaw, where are you?
Celebrities
Man, there was
only,
more
please.
questions for cybersecurity.
There's no way we covered everything.
Do you not want to know our thoughts on the education system? Have some good ones.
Anything, it could be anything. Any kind of question is a good question.
Anyone want me to invest $10 in their company?
What can we all do together to fight ISIS?
Can you get the head of it on Between Two Ferns?
I cracked the Ebola case.
You did?
Yeah, I've misspoken. I cracked a suitcase full of Ebola backstage. It's gonna.
Any questions?
Otherwise,
someone
we have
getting
some
up
questions
very
for you.
exciting.
She's leaving.
That person.
Look,
No.
ma'am, we apologize.
Ma'am,
You're
no,
walking-
we're not done.
No, you're
yet.
walking right by the
Ask us
microphone.
a
We're not
question.
done yet.
Just,
You're right
a-
there.
just
Oh, no,
ask
no,
us
we're
where
still
to get
talking.
lunch.
We have
We're up
another
here.
Just
5
ask
minutes.
us where you should get lunch
No,
or
we have
coffee.
5 more minutes.
Hi, just ask
Stop
us any
her. Don't
question.
let her leave.
Anything. You're right
Anything
there.
at all.
Come on down.
Please.
Yeah, ask
It's
her
right
question.
there.
Anything.
Please.
Ask
Ask
us
a
Come on up
question.
here.
Ask a question.
Step up to the mic.
Ask a question. Ask a question. Ask a question. Ask a question. Oh, she's.
Katie Couric did it.
That's your mom? Oh, okay.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
What,
no, we can wait.
Do you want us to answer
Is
questions
there a
about
question?
photos?
If there's a question,
All right,
we
so
could.
we'll hit you later.
Look, let's be honest. We have 4 minutes that we have to run out. Why don't we just
Speed
count?
round,
Why don't we
speed
count
round.
to 64 times?
What?
Oh, there's a
She's
question
got one. Oh,
person.
come on down.
Just
Hey,
go-
girl.
You asked that
brainstorm.
same question to Elon Musk yesterday. Yeah. Does that just mean like smoke weed in your dorm room?
Because I am in.
Now, what did you guys think of what Mr. Iger said this morning about Bill Simmons and how he had just broken their rules of journalism?
Wait. What happened? You have to catch me.
They
up.
asked him about the Bill Simmons suspension, and he said that he had violated their high standards of journalism at the ESPN podcast.
Well, in that case, I always look to journalists like Jerome Bettis and other former football players who are,
Michael Strahan.
major, I mean, what do you think? What do you think, Judd?
Well, I thought that there was an article like 3 days before on ESPN that said that they clearly had the tape. And then I think Bill Simmons said the exact same thing using stronger language on a podcast and got suspended for it. But it's more concerning that they took their name off of the documentary about concussions that they were making.
Wait, what's this about?
Camille, this is about football. Don't worry.
So wait, which one? This is the one where there's a hoop and
Yeah. The footballers,
what was the concussion documentary name take? Oh, NFL did.
yes.
Great.
I mean, I think I don't have a joke for this, but there's something so cool about how he gets to. Everyone knows. Like, I feel like if this had happened 10 years ago, it just would have happened, and we would never have known unless we knew Bill Simmons. Like,
The tape would fully have just disappeared.
Well,
without-
yeah, he just gets to go on Twitter, and there's full
Yeah.
disclosure, and there's this sort of transparency for all this stuff. So it's just so cool that Do you have a joke for this?
I think it's
anyone?
terrifying that there's cameras in elevators. I mean, first glass elevators, now this.
Yeah. When you think there's a recording of everything you've ever done in an elevator.
That's
I hope so. Watch that.
We have a question. We have a question.
Oh, here we go.
Guys, I have exciting news. There's 2 questions.
To ask at the same
go to
time.
the
Ready,
little-
go,
Simultaneous,
go,
simultaneous.
Go.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Do you think I'm pretty?
Yes.
Extremely, yes.
Thank you.
I don't think you guys had a chance to really address maybe what the topic was, which to me I thought
Oh, we had plenty of
was about
chances.
That's a very
I thought-
passive-aggressive
We're
question.
very busy up
I'm
here.
Where's the question mark?
How do you make
to me-
thousands doing comedy?
Yeah, just in terms of monetizing content.
Go
I
to
think, like,
tech conferences and belittle the participants.
I thought, well, like Louis C.K. did some cool stuff in terms of like selling tickets directly for his stand-up, and I just think in terms of like direct-to-video models or putting out content directly to your fans, where you guys can own the distribution and maybe own a little bit more of the monetization around it. What are you guys thinking about in terms of the future of how you can better monetize your own content?
That's a great question. Unfortunately, we are out of time. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah. We can't give away those secrets. I mean, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Those are all top secret industry.
So just watch this ad for a Kia as the final. That's how you're going to make your money back.
If we told you, all the money would go to you instead of us.
I would say it's harder. Louis C.K. can kind of pull it off, and there's not many people that can. I think it really is hard to do. It becomes something that's easy to write about, but that doesn't mean it's really, pervasive yet, and I think that's why the panel was supposed. Oh, we got an extra 3 minutes. That's why the panel was supposed to be called "How to Earn Thousands," because for most people, you're lucky to even make $1,000 doing any of this. But it's nice because if you are a comedian, there's so many more ways to kind of get that voice out.
Well,
and that
like
message.
Scott has a podcast called Comedy Bang Bang that started as a live show. It's became a podcast. It's now a television show on IFC, and then he can tour with that show.
Yeah. And I own a pretty successful podcast company, which
yes.
I think the story behind that is just, at one point I thought, podcasts are fun. What if I started a company? And I just did it instead of like going, other people start companies.
Everything in comedy, I think, is just you need to just make things. There's a giant market. Obviously, everybody needs content these days. So most people delay and don't make things, and they try to figure out what they're going to do with them when they're done, but never make them to have it to sell. And so, especially with how cheap it is to shoot things and create podcasts, that you should just be creative, and then everything else works out.
For me, the biggest thing with Twitter has been like you could tweet. Whitney was talking about this, like. You just tweet stuff, and if you have a show somewhere, you can directly get to your audience in a very sharp and a quick way. And it's changed touring for me. Like you could get to your audience directly, and podcasting and Twitter. I mean, it's been amazing.
And that's, I think, a big part of it is, especially for comedians, is that there's a live performance. There's a thing about seeing someone live like that. You can't. Whether you're on Twitter or you're listening to there's something about that visceral experience. It's the same with the music business that I think so it's a big part of it, and social media can definitely help.
And there's this intimacy there now, It's like I can also go on and respond to people. I mean, it's basically with Twitter, people essentially have your direct email, which is when you look at that, which is really great and then also really terrible sometimes.
It's amazing, yeah. People have direct access to you. I mean, I was talking to Richard Marx the other day, which is the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me.
He did say wherever you go, he'll be right there.
White pants?
Last question of the day.
Thanks.
Not of the day. There's more. Sorry. Last question, then there's a box of a turkey leg waiting for you. Okay.
I know you guys like poking fun of Stanford. Another Stanford master's student here. Along the lines of Mr. Apatow, what you were talking about, just making things and then also attracting an audience. So I did make things. I took an opportunity to make a student short that we worked on. It's called Higher Education. Quick pitch, if you want to see Stanford made more fun of, check it out. But along those lines, when you make things, what is the next step that you can take in the process to then expand your reach for someone just starting out that doesn't kind of have your audience exposure?
Well, one thing that's good is to name drop your video as you try to pretend to ask a question.
I know you guys needed questions, so I figured I'd
if you can reach
take
about
that.
60 people at a time, that's really going to get you to your goal. Honestly, the good thing about the internet is you can put your stuff out there, and it is kind of a meritocracy. And if people find it, everybody has access to your video. So the best you can do is put it out there, try and spread the word, but stuff goes viral all the time. That's really good.
But I think you also have to be strategic and just think through what's that entry point. There's a ton of Stanford alumni in Hollywood. Everyone loves something that they can relate to. So kind of you can go broad and specific at the same time. Then hopefully you just get a little bit of a critical mass. And then you also just have to be talented. It has to be good, and you have to keep on doing it.
Yeah,
or have cats in your video. Do you have cats?
We do.
Oh, you might be okay then.
Yeah. Cats. Girl started a Twitter for cats dealing with foreclosure. She didn't get into Stanford.
Doesn't sound complicated enough. Let me tell you. No, I think the important thing is to keep making stuff. A lot of people stop after the first thing. You have to have regular output.
Unless you suck, in which case, please stop.
Yeah.
But it's true. It's like I made videos with Mike at Funny or Die that that ended up becoming the basis of a TV show that I did at Comedy Central. And it's just like you just have to keep making stuff, and because you find the people you like to work with, you might have put all your ideas in one thing, but it's a constant output. Like the thing with the web that I found is it's a hungry beast, and it just wants to be fed constantly. And so you just have to constantly be feeding it.
Yeah, we've ended this with good advice, on a sincere note, and we've helped this man, and we've changed his life.
Thanks.
I feel like one day I'll be in a cafe and he'll walk up to me holding an Oscar. And he'll say, thank you. Nick Kroll explained it all for me, and I followed his instructions. And
Also, it's after Labor Day.
Thanks, guys. Have a good lunch. Thank you very much.